Hi, it's Maryalice here with Change Your Aim, Change Your Life. And this is kind of a spontaneous thing here. Something occurred a couple days ago that I just thought was kind of cool. I just want to share with you. Just really inspired me. And bear with me while I tell a little story first beforehand. I went into town the other day just to do a little shopping, and in the area that I go shopping, which is nearby, it's on like a mile of like tree-lined street. It's beautiful, and there are all kinds of shops. You can everything. I mean, wonderful restaurants, mom and pop businesses. There's Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware, Williams Sonoma, Kitchen Caboodle, Urban Outfitters. I mean, but it's all along this tree-lined street, and it's just so pretty. It's just a nice area to go shopping. So anyway, I was with my family. We were just my daughters, and we were just kind of having fun, and so we thought we'd pop into Pottery Barn. And I'm walking in there, and I'm like, what am I stepping on? I kept hearing this crunching, and my feet were kind of wobbly because I was stepping on these things. I'm like, what is it? And I looked down, and they were Buckeyes. They're Buckeyes. I was so excited. I know you're going, why would a Buckeye excite you? Well, I grew up in Ohio, the Buckeye state. And when I was a little girl, I loved collecting Buckeyes. I just thought it was so fun. I just remember like being 6 and 7 and 8-ish around the fall time. I'd get a little bag and I'd go to around the neighborhood and collect Buckeyes. I just thought they were cool looking, and I didn't know what I did with them. I just thought they were cool. And they came, some were already cracked open and some were still in their casing. And the casing is like, it's green, and it's pointy, kind of looks like a blowfish, if you've ever seen a blowfish. But it breaks open, and then the Buckeye comes out. And then this is the one I picked up. And because it was in the rain, it's kind of, the color's a little, it's discolored. It's usually a lot like an off-white color right there. And I was just so thrilled. And so for a minute, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. It just kind of brought me back to my childhood. And then when I picked up, I was looking at the Buckeye, and I was looking at this tree, big, gorgeous, lush tree. And I was looking at the Buckeye. I looked up at the tree again. I'm like, this is just so amazing. I mean, it was just, I mean, I've read stories about analogies and seeds and trees and plants, but for some reason it just really hit me at that moment. Maybe because I was just so open to the sentiment of collecting Buckeyes when I was a kid. I don't know, but I looked at the Buckeye and I'm thinking, you know, this thing has the potential of growing into a huge, beautiful, lush tree. Just gorgeous tree. And it made me think about how it grows, because it doesn't like we just add water or like a sponge and poof, this tree comes out. No, it goes through a process that God put in order, these massive, beautiful laws of nature, and they're just beautiful. And if you think about it, you know, this, you know, if I were to take this and put it just in the right place of soil, where it gets would just get buried in there, and then the nutrients would get to it, and it would break open, and then the roots would start growing, and the little shoot would come up, and the roots would go deeper, and the shoot would get taller, because the nutrients are coming from the soil, from its surroundings. And then, you know, as the little shoot comes up, and it's usually, the trees around here, they're so massive. There's so many. I live in Oregon, so there's like trees everywhere. And they protect each other. So at different growths, stages of growth of the trees, I mean, they're protected by the bigger ones. And so I just started thinking, when I got home that day, I just was thinking this analogy about who we are and how cool it is. Because, you know, I got to thinking about, again, putting that, like planting that Buckeye. Let's say it happens to fall into just the right soil, and it starts growing, and it gets all the nutrients it needs, and it's growing, and it's just so cool. I gotta tell you, you don't hear, not that I have a microphone under the soil, but it's like seeds and buckeyes and acorns and pine cones. They get buried and then they grow. They just do their thing because they're embedded with this DNA of being the tree that they were meant to be. I'm sure they're not under there going, oh, there's something wrong with me. I'm not growing fast enough. Or, oh, look over there. Their roots are bigger and I just am a mess. Oh, what are they thinking? Or, oh, I had such a horrible, nutty childhood and now look at me and I can't grow. They don't do that. They just grow. And they do it because they're in the right place. And like us, we need to be in the right setting of our lives to be with the right people, having the right information, and taking care of ourselves, making sure we're getting nourished spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and with education and developing our skills and talents. But so many people that I've known and have worked with don't even know what their gifts and talents are because of their past issues of abuse that have taken over their mind. They don't know how to get rid of it. They don't know how to take care of the shame. They ignore that anything ever happened to them in their life, and they pretend it never affected them. But their whole life is the product of how they were affected by their past. And it can't be denied, and we can't ignore it. We can't pretend it didn't happen. And some beautiful women I know did get therapy and it was just wonderful, but they still felt like they needed to take a step further. So my point in this is that we need to be nourished in the right way. And in order to do so, we need to be planted in the right place. So we need to get rid of negative people in our lives, dysfunctional relationships and friendships, and one by one, take care of that in our lives. It doesn't mean we don't love the people. They could be family members, and, we love them, but it's just they don't get where you're going. They know you want to grow, you want to learn, you want to be the best that you can be, you want to achieve your dreams, you want to take care of that muck and mire in your mind and your heart, which is what I do, which is my passion, to help other women to move forward. Quit being ashamed of the shame that's in there and let's get rid of it. Part of the big problem is being ashamed of what you consider shame in you, the humiliation or the embarrassment that you feel about your past. So you don't want to talk about it. And that keeps you in the wrong soil. It keeps you in the wrong place. And it's hard, you're hard pressed to really grow. So like this buckeye or an acorn again, or a pine cone, or any seed you want to use, when it's in the right soil, it's getting nourished and it's growing and it's protected by the other element of the other trees. It's getting all the rain it needs. It's getting all the sunshine it needs. It's just growing, and then the roots growing, and then it grows on top, and then underneath. The roots grow even further because it's getting nourished. That's like us. We get our spiritual growth. We have our spiritual practices. We connect with God. We connect with who we really are. We are spirits living a human existence. And that humanity, as beautiful as it can be, gets in the way. And we're not all just our senses. There's more to us than that. And you sense it. I know you do. That's why you're here. That's why you listen to even what I have to say. You know there's more to life. And you want to grow. You want to get better. And you want to learn. It's amazing. So let's equate ourselves with this, with growing and being a strong tree. When we're with the right people and we have the right content, and we're being encouraged in a positive way, and we can turn around and encourage others in a positive way. That's what we need to be doing, and that's the rippling effect of love in the world and with one another. So when the hard times come in life, we all have them. Losing a loved one, or even a pet, or maybe a car accident, or dealing with a loved one's illness, or whatever might come up. Who knows? Life just happens, and things can come around us that was not in our periphery because we're so focused on doing and being the best we can. But life happens. in a negative way, and it hurts. And we cry and we grieve and we have issues. But we are strong. The thing is, we're strong because we have the community with one another, which is what I'm trying to build here for all of us. You know, we have that community for one another, and we're building. And so when the wind goes, you just sway. You're flexible. You're not going to break in half. You won't lose your roots. You won't lose what you have growing. And I look out my window right here, and I don't know if you could see, oh, well, I won't turn this, but I've got the woods right here, and it's been kind of rainy and really windy the past couple days, and I see these trees going like this, and I'm like, don't fall. You know, they look like they're massive trees. I mean, they're huge, and they're like this, and I can hear them. I can hear them creak, and it's a little bizarre, but they don't fall. Nothing happens to them. They just sway with the wind. They're flexible. They're strong. It's amazing. They barely lose even a limb. They just go with it. And that's like us. Instead of caving and breaking in, feeling like a victim, and oh, life is horrible, and and feeling like you're breaking in half, you develop this inner strength that will keep you on target and flexible in life. And again, we do that with community, we do that with knowledge, and we do that with growing, so that we're in the right spot, we're in the right soil, so to speak. And I know for me, every day is so important in that I have a couple things that are they are on my list no matter what. It's my spiritual growth and development, so whatever spiritual practice I have of praying and meditating and learning and growing, thinking of others, helping others, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. It's just a part of who I am. It's my spiritual foundation is just that. It's a foundation, always evolving and growing. And then the other part is always learning. I don't go without a day without learning. And it could be at midnight and I'm dead tired, and if I feel like I was too busy doing things, I'll pick up a book. I have like 3 or 4 books next to me by my bedside, and I'll pick up one of them, even if I'm reading 2 pages. If it's enlightening for me, if I'm learning something about someone, or whether it's a biography, or if it's a philosophy, or spiritual growth, or learning more about how to be successful, how to train my brain and my thoughts, I will do it because I love it. So those 2 things are on my list every day. And then after that would be whatever I need to do that day, making a video or writing in my book, which I just finished and now is an editing process. But anyway, I don't want to keep going on and on, but see this Buckeye? This is what it is. You and me are this Buckeye, right? And we're growing. We're growing, and I just want to encourage you in that. And I love this community, and I'm glad you're here, and thank you for listening. You guys have a great day. Go find that where is it? There it is. Bye, guys.